Have you ever wondered what living in the 1990s was like? Well, in 1997, the price of gas was $1.23. A dozen of eggs was $1.17. A gallon of milk was $3.22. The unemployment rate was at 5.4%, and the population of America was 267,743,595. I was born on July 29th, 1997. The president in 1997 was Bill Clinton. The vice president was Al Gore. The Secretary of State was Madeleine Albright. At that time, the Republicans controlled the entire House. After doing much research, in my opinion, there was not many monumental historical events that took place in the 1997. However, throughout the month of July, there were several different events that happened throughout the world. First, there was the many NASA accomplishments. On July 1st, 1997, NASA launched the spacecraft Columbia. The mission lasted 15 days, 16 hours, and 45 minutes. That's a long time. There were 7 crew members, 2 of which were females, 5 of which were males. The primary focus was the microgravity science laboratory, where many experiments were performed and were later performed too. On July 4th, the U.S. Space Probe Pathfinder landed on Mars. The Pathfinder's mission was an important first step in the rover for NASA. Secondly, there were several world news events. On July 1st, the transfer of sovereignty over Hong Kong from the United Kingdom to the People's Republic of China was accomplished. This is often referred to as the handover or the returner. This landmark event marked the end of the British rule in Hong Kong and is considered the end mark of the British Empire. Also, on July 8th, NATO invited Poland, Hungary, and the Czech Republic to join alliances. It was the biggest single expansion of the Western Alliance in its 48-year history. President Clinton referred to it as a great day for the cause of freedom. Also, on July 21st, the USS Constitution was fully restored and celebrated its 200th birthday. For celebrating its 200th birthday, it set sail for the first time in 116 years. The newspaper read, "Old Iron Hail sets sail again. USS Constitution goes to sea to mark its 200th anniversary of warship's triumph over Britain." Third, there were many tragedies, which resulted in many different deaths. An Indonesia ferry sank and 77 people were killed. A terrorist suicide bombing took place in the city of Jerusalem, killing 14 men, children, and women. One significant scientific achievement happened on July 25th. On that day, scientists announced the first human stem cell to be cultured in a laboratory using tissue taken from an aborted human embryos. July 1997 was also a very monumental month and year for the sports world. On July 1st, the Nevada Athletic Commission suspends heavyweight world boxing champion Mike Tyson for biting Holyfield's ear during a match. Later, on July 9th, Mike Tyson was banned from boxing. On July 8th, baseball's AAA American Association, which was formed in 1902, votes to disband. On July 10th, the Chicago Cubs played in its 5,000th consecutive game without giving up a single hit. That is a very good accomplishment. Also, on July 22nd, Greg Maddux, who was a pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, threw a complete game with only pitching 76 total pitches. Usually pitchers pitch about 100 to 150. That's a very good accomplishment by him. Also, on July 25th, Green Bay Packers QB Brett Favre re-signed his contract that was worth $50 million over a total of 7 years. On July 27th, for us Detroit Tigers fans, this was a very big day as they retired pitcher Hal Newhouser's number 16 jersey that is hanging on the outside of the stadium today. Also on July 27th, another big sporting event happened. The Tour de France was won by Jan Ullrich, who was from Germany. Although the 90s was very popular for music, 1997 did not have a very popular year. The number one song on the radio was Elton John's Candle in the Wind. On July 19th, the song I'll Be Missing You debuted by Puff Daddy and Faith Evans. On July 5th, Mrs. Miller, who was an American singer, died at the age of 90. Also, another big event that happened was rocker Rick Danko gets suspended sentence in Japan due for smuggling drugs. There were not that many important films or television shows that appeared in the 1997, but throughout the entire 1990s, many popular movies came, like Parent Trap, Air Bud, 101 Dalmatians. There were many, but during 1997, no popular films came out. The only thing that happened was on July 15th, Gerald McKenzie was awarded $26.6 million for being fired from Miller Brewing for sexual harassment for relaying a Seinfeld episode to a fellow coworker. In closing, I am thankful that I was born in the 1997. Although, to my parents, the most important thing was, of course, me being born. It is interesting for me to look back at the history and learn about the historical events in the year that I was born, since I do not remember.